Hello and welcome to the first video for tax strategy. I'm Ben and I'm joined here today by JT, or better known in the community as Mongoose1021.
Hey folks.
So JT, thanks for joining me in this. Trying out a little something here. Gonna do some videos on tac, and we're gonna play a game, as you can see in front of me. But also we're going to try to discuss some interesting pieces of information about it, especially strategy-wise. So we're just going to play a game of fives, 5x5 board. So I'll go ahead and get this going. And so since I'm making my first move here, something I've been thinking about is openings.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for example, I put you in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if the corner is the best place. What are you thinking about, like, opening? Where would you want to stick me?
I'm certainly either going in the corner or one off of the corner. Sometimes I play a variant for reasons with you place two opening stones, and if you place two stones, I definitely think it's incorrect to place in two opposite corners. The corner does have a bit of versatility. As much as it sounds like you just sort of stuffed in the corner, it does mean that it can be used to build a wall in either direction, or a road in either direction.
Right, definitely. I was kind of thinking either corner or center of a side might be a little bit better, but
center of a side. I had not thought of center of a side,
because that way you're definitely only in contact with one side of the board.
For this one though, I am just going to stick you in the corner.
All right, that's fine. That's expected. And then of course when I go, my tendency would be to grab the middle.
Yep.
And that just seems like no-brainer that obviously I can go any direction.
Yep. So this is actually a sequence I've played probably 4 or 5 of my 15 games.
Okay. Yeah. So you played that many games, huh?
About 15, yeah. And I think it's necessary to start. So you have to establish some sort of a contact with the centerpiece, and also start building a road yourself. If I were to do something like play a d4, I think that would just be, you could just play c4 and you'd have excellent position. Okay, so you played e3. I think this is... Usually I try to avoid early capstones, but this seems like such an obvious place for it.
Oh, yeah?
We're going for it here.
Okay. I honestly I've mostly tried to get the capstone out moderately early. I've always felt like if I wait till it's too late, that I'm almost like more inclined to keep throwing down road pieces, because I'm trying to build a road as quickly as I can.
And you don't want to have to worry about putting the capstone somewhere useless and losing it.
Right. Nope, put it down. All right. I'm actually going to go with... I'm going there. And I'm also getting my capstone in there.
All right. Well, certainly off to the races here. So my hope is that I can make the e3 move useless by building a road that it can't block.
Okay.
And keeping you firmly disconnected from it, so getting, advantage here.
Gotcha.
I actually kind of like this board because both a1 and e3 are doing nothing for you, whereas all of my pieces are in play. So
okay.
I call this a solid start.
Nice. Interesting. I don't actually feel like, at this point anyway, I don't mind the A1, because I feel like that could definitely be built into something later, and since your pieces are not near it, it's kind of, I'm all on my own right now.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with... I'll go with that. And since I got you on Skype, actually, this is the first time I've ever Skyped with anyone playing tac.
Yep.
How's the response time? Like, I heard you go, like as soon as I moved.
It's very quick.
It seems to be extremely quick. That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the site. Yeah, so this is a time for this sort of counterintuitive thing that walls are really good against capstones, despite capstones being able to crush walls.
Right.
If I put this wall here, you can't deal with it, so your capstone is now not able to be part of your road unless you're willing to give me my flat back, at which point I can threaten a full road.
Except not anymore.
Now we just have this giant unholy mess, and I don't know what's going on.
Yep. Yeah, this actually works for me because I'm between my wall and your capstone, so that is like very, very impenetrable for a while here, I feel.
So now we go the other direction, I guess.
Exactly.
Definitely
Exactly.
not building the like road down the D rank. That's just not happening. So now
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna try and build a road on 4.
Yep. And let's see. How do I wanna? I actually. Okay. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try the. I'm definitely feeling like I'm on more defense. I don't know if you've got that impression that you're being a little bit more offensive.
I mean, yeah, I was 2 moves away from
Oh yeah, definitely at that point. But I mean, continuing that seems to just kind of move ahead. So along those lines, there was a single point there where
mhm.
now that I feel like I'm on defense, like
Yep.
I move first, so we would consider me to have a small but noticeable first move advantage.
Sure.
Do you feel like that may have disappeared as soon as I decided that I was going to move my capstone rather than place another road piece?
I think that's exactly what it was.
Okay, that's definitely how it feels.
Yeah, I think that was the first person to. So things. When I first started playing the game, it was on 4s. And the very definite pattern on 4s is you should always, always, always play a flat until you're going to lose. Because as soon as you stop playing flats, then your opponent gains the opportunity to just sort of rush the game out by flatting you into a road win. And it's unless you can do something really strong with your wall, you just lose too much initiative from playing a flat, or from not playing a flat.
Okay, so even playing a wall you would consider to be too passive.
In the early game, yeah, like when the board gets full up,
Right.
unless you're trying to force a flat win, obviously you're gonna stop placing pieces. But I think there's, especially if the first move is early, I think it's a sign that you're behind. The first move, I mean, like first time you pick up a piece and set it down somewhere else, as opposed to
Gotcha.
putting one on the board.
Gotcha.
It's sort of acknowledging that you're being outpositioned. I don't mean that it's necessarily wrong to do that. It could mean that the move that set you up there was wrong. But I'm trying to figure out what to do here. This is B4. B4, I suspect, is going to lead to some stacked up pieces. I'm trying to decide if I like that or not. B3 is if I were to try to build the road on the ground. And I think I do have enough of a flat count advantage as well as a closer capstone, so I'm going to go for the flat stones.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely. Well, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this.
Well,
I'm
this is the sequence that was foreseen.
exactly, exactly. We're just going with it. I'm doing it. And then I would be inclined to play. I'm actually gonna be playing that.
Interesting. I can't think why I wouldn't hop in the middle here. I'm not
Yep.
totally sure it's correct, but I generally think of being on top of tall towers as being a pretty sizable positional advantage, just because like there are so many places I can put 2 stones now.
Sure, that is definitely true.
Here we go.
Yep, exactly.
Going up.
We're stacking this game. This game is stacks. Okay.
Yep.
You know what? Heck. I'm going. I'm all in.
No, so like the obvious continuation of this mayhem would be to pick up the top 2 pieces of B4 and set them on top. I'm trying to decide if I actually like that.
I just do all 3.
No, that's obviously wasteful.
Only because
More
of the
seriously-
positioning. If you were along the edge, you would be able to stretch almost the entire width in a single move.
That's true. So I'm trying to think if I instead put, say, a flat at, maybe not a flat, if I throw a wall at D4. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I can do something. If I can gain control of this, I have to have control of this tower, and I can have control of this tower. And the question is, can I have control of this tower and place a flat at the same time? So the worry would be that you pick up the top 2 stones of. If I just say put a flat at D4, then you can just pick up the top 2 stones and put them on D4.
Right.
and I don't know that there's much I can do about that.
Yeah, it's definitely it's just a
Yeah,
stacking race. At first, you're racing to build a road, and then it's a race to the top of the tower. It's
yeah, and control of the big towers is then so big. If I had tighter wall control around this stack, I might be willing to let you have control of it. But
yeah.
as it stands, I'm just going to pile it up.
All right, all right. Now I actually don't feel too bad about that tower just because of the distribution of pieces in it.
So I can pick up, it's mine, yours, mine,
You
yours. So I can pick up everything but the bottom piece.
right, exactly. That's what I was gonna say too. That you do have essentially control of the whole tower. But I'm gonna.
Yeah, there are cases where you can lose control of a tower because it has too many enemy pieces inside it.
Yes, exactly. That's a problem because then you end up having to leave a big tower to maintain control of it.
Hmm.
And since you're moving, you definitively can't leave something like a standing stone or anything on top.
Right. Yeah, I think you definitely had to place a wall in this case. Like if you didn't put a wall there, I would have put a flat there, and you would have been in a lot of trouble.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't have very much choice. I needed a wall at one end or the other, and obviously I opted for the farthest from your capstone.
Yep. So this is sort of a tricky because I was sort of pushing for a wall, pushing for a road,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm obviously not going to get that road, or at least I'm going to have to do some more work to get back to it. So the question is, do I try and push like a flat advantage here, or rank road, or maybe I can squash my own wall at C2, build a C rank road. I don't know what I want. I'm just going to make sure I don't lose control of this tower, and I'm sure that piece will be useful somehow.
Okay. Yeah. I'm I'm just gonna build a little bit here. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you got to get that done at some point.
Yeah, at the moment, there's no imminent loss in my future, but
Yeah, and interestingly, you do have a capstone to D1, which is having your capstone on top of a flat is pretty
yes,
on top of your own flat is a really nice position to be in.
yeah, it's not bad. I like that.
Um, I think what we're actually going to do, this is a weird one, but if I could get my capstone on top of my tower, I could go crush your wall in only 3 moves instead of the 4 it looks like it should take. And also, this develops a C rank road, so I'm moving my capstone to the center.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. And I think that results in me playing that.
I would agree.
Good to hear. I feel good about that then.
Um,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, if you with that tower, you've got control of. You've got some space to strike out.
mhm. And I also feel I feel a little bit less pressure because of that move though, because you can no longer hop directly onto D1, so now it's much harder to turn that back into a road.
Sure.
Um, so I think we're actually going to take this opportunity to develop the 5 file road or whatever it's called.
Gotcha. Yeah. Let's see. What do I want to do? That's. Yeah. I'm just gonna nip that in the bud.
I think that is necessary.
I was trying to think about like how much space I had. Could I wait a move? But
Not really.
I might have been able to. It's a risk though. I feel like there could be something developing somewhere else that I would then be split between two
If you
potential
had put a
roads.
flat at say C1, I think I have a forcing sequence that's at least pretty bad, if not game ending, that starts with an A5 flat.
Okay.
Um, so I want to put my capstone on my tower. That would feel really nice. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm nervous that that means that the top 5 pieces then ends in one of my pieces, so it means I only have two lifted pieces of my color to work with.
Right.
Um, I think it is necessary to protect from your walls, though. This is one of those cool situations where it initially feels really bad to take your capstone and put it on your own flat because you're like -1 road piece.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you look at the board afterwards, it's like, oh my gosh, I can do anything.
Yeah,
So it's
it basically it turns your capstone into like a queen or a rook capstone. You can move any distance and crush something.
oh yeah, the capstone can go. Well, your capstone is nicely positioned for this because if it weren't there,
You'd
I
be
would have
looking at
very-
about a 1-move win. 2
yeah,
move maybe.
pretty much. I mean, if you had a wall there, it'd be trickier. But yeah,
Yeah. Which that oddly enough, you should mention a wall.
oh, actually, no. This is before we. So the server doesn't have an undo, but I should mention that I don't. I think I have a 1-move win right now. I believe you something rather urgently. I can pick up the top 4 from C4, set them on B4, and then hop just the capstone onto your wall.
Oh yeah, you do. You're
So
right. You're right. That would
be
totally.
sure to prevent that. I would hate to have this game end by a missed road.
Yeah, there is. There's 2 things I can do to stop that. And yeah. Let's cancel that.
So you do have the nice edge that if I take my capstone off of this tower without bringing most of the tower with it, your capstone can't reach the tower right now,
Yes, that's true.
which stresses me out a little.
As it should. As it should. Yeah, you're getting some good roads built here. I'm gonna move this one, I think. I feel like
Sure.
that might be my best move. And thank you for pointing that out, by the way, because I was not thinking that you had that. Not thinking about that move. I was not thinking about the top right now. I keep forgetting, or I didn't take into account that you moved your capstone up there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, that on that tower, you're pretty powerful.
All right. But this is a great example of walls are good against capstones, you know?
Yes.
Like this capstone looks so strong up here, but all I can do is just like, not that much. So I can threaten a win, but you have a very easy counter by just setting your capstone on the tower, and
Yep.
I don't see any obvious counterplay against that.
Yeah, and because I do have a good number of pieces in the tower as well, it works for either of us pretty equally well.
Yeah. So actually what I can do, if I just stick a flat here, then I can threaten a win again.
You're right. You're right. Oh, man. Not sure about this one. All right, let's look at it from this angle.
He's spinning it around.
Yep. Here, let's look at it from this angle. Ah, the bottom. Yeah, very nice. I don't see any trouble on that side.
It's so, I was surprised at first when I first realized I needed the rotation feature because the board gets so complicated
Yeah.
in the late game.
You get a tower built up, and all of a sudden you can't see the square behind it at all.
There's also this neat feature I hope you knew about where you can right click on a tower and every other tower disappears.
I did not know about that. That's kind of cool. It may or
Yeah,
may
it
not
gets-
have a
it
lot
gets
of
necessary.
use. It helps. I could definitely see that helping, especially if you're wanting to count or see what's down at the bottom.
Yeah, I remember I when I first played on this, I asked Kakabura to decrease the size of the pieces so I could see them all when they were next to each other in big towers. He's like, dude, just right click. I'm like, oh, right, never mind.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. All right. This is getting out of control quickly. For certain.
Yes. Actually, so I can just go to. I can just go to D4. Just throw a flat at D4, and I
Yeah.
threaten the same thing again.
I know.
But
I know.
you can
I
just-
wasn't gonna tell you that.
But you can just sort of hoover up my pieces, and it's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a tiny bit more breathing room with that last move, but not a lot.
So what else could I be doing? If you didn't have the B4 wall, then I could throw my own piece at, say, B or A5 even, And then it doesn't matter if you capture.
Okay, I've got an idea. I think I know what I'm.
Have a game plan.
Well, I have a game plan to hopefully give myself. Like I'm mostly looking for breathing room at this point, honestly.
Right.
I feel like I've got. I gotta. I'm gonna keep moving these walls a little bit more. I think that'll help out. Basically, I just want to have the walls not in reach of your capstone.
Interesting. For the reference, I'm trying to decide between flats at A5, B5, and a D4. Or possibly a wall at center.
Ah, wall at center. Interesting. That would be an interesting defensive move.
Yeah, just like free up the capstone a bit, because right now I can't really afford to get off. But if you, it's actually kind of fun. If you just squish the wall, then this entire, if you squish the C3 wall, the capstone, then my play would be to build an entirely, like I would build a road that's never going to work on the 2 rank, just to try to force your capstone to go away.
Ah, yes.
Because there's no way I'm going to build a 2 rank road right now, even with your capstone at C3 instead of C2. I think we're going to go with this.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't change my plan, I don't think. I'm going with that. Whoops.
Oh.
Whoops. Wait,
Is that
what?
not what you wanted?
No, it's not. Shoot. Undo.
Darn. Oh no.
All right.
There is no undo.
Yep. Good game.
Wait, let's check. Question mark. Maybe there's a thing.
I'm sure there's not, because it's already been sent across to the server, back to your client. It's all right. I don't think this kills me immediately. The wall was supposed to stay on D5.
I see.
But I don't think, like I said, I don't think this kills me. It's just
it's a little awkward.
It's not the breathing room that I was looking for. Oh well. So here's a question for you.
Yep.
Tack or talk?
Oh, tack.
Okay. That's what everyone defaults to. But it's just a question that I had thought of one day. They're like, well, how are we sure it's called tack?
Fair enough. What do we want to do here? I'm trying to figure where that move, like you said, it was a mistake, but it means that I don't have any connection to the, I don't know how to refer to the side that your wall is against, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, to the, I mean, just orienting the board, I would say the right side, the eastern side.
I can set it up so that is the right side. The trouble is the letters and numbers are right side up, upside down, such that there's not like a default orientation.
Right. Well, I would consider default to be A1 at the lower left. Like,
right,
like graphing style.
Sure. The right side of the board, I no longer have any pieces touching it that are accessible.
Yeah.
So that's actually sort of reasonable for that reason.
Yes, I was hoping to leave my wall on D5, and then if I still needed more, I could then jump all those pieces to E5.
Yeah, you could just stack me up and stuff me in
exactly. Just stuff you all underneath the wall and forget about you.
All right, so I'm just going to go for a flat flood here. I figure that you have little enough influence that I can just pile it on.
Yeah. It's not the funnest position, but Okay, now I'm gonna be more careful with my move this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I didn't clearly click 2 times on my other move. I clicked too casually, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't being careful.
Sure.
You have to click once per piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then this seems to be standard interface. I've like other implementations I've seen is exactly the same.
All right. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Obviously going for the 5 rank road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems obvious.
It sort of decreases the value of the tower. I almost wanted to just leave. I almost wanted to bring the I've only brought 4 stones along. I almost wanted to bring 5.
Yeah.
Because like, it's not like your road does anything for you there. Sort of inbuilt tack instinct says always leave flats behind.
Yeah, yeah. It's not. It's the kind of thing that you do instinctually without evaluating it. But
yeah, I'm not at all sure it's correct here.
All right, let's try that.
Interesting.
I think I might be in trouble, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so I think that's game, actually.
You might have it, yeah. I think so. I'm not.
Oh wait, no, you have you can lift up the entire d5 square and put it on e5.
Oh yes, of course, but that doesn't
and
help.
then
oh, actually,
and then no, in that
oh,
case,
no, it doesn't.
leaving my
I'm
my
gonna
flat
do it
behind on c4
There you go, man.
would have
Good game.
would have given me a winning position here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But even so.
So I think what we do now is that.
Okay.
That didn't look like I expected it to. I think that was a bad move.
Okay.
I have made a mistake.
Barely. Oh my god, I'm still alive.
No. Why did I do that? Oh well, you made a mistake earlier. It's cool.
Yeah. I think this is going to be for a long time Tak is going to be defined by mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, everyone's horrible at the game when it's new. Like, that's not surprising.
Well, like you're saying, like you played like 15 games of it. I probably played like 8. You know, it's just like.
Like, how do you expect to not make mistakes?
Yeah. Okay, so I assume. All right, cool. Yeah, that worked. All right. Yeah, you can. Weirdly enough, you can pick up a stone from your pile and then flip it into a wall and then put it back down on the pile without placing it.
Wait, what?
You click on a stone to pick it up.
Sure.
And then right click. And then click back on the pile where you picked it up from.
Oh, on that pile. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, without placing it on the board. I just wasn't sure if it was correctly rendering that or what was going on, but it reflects exactly what it shows, just so you know.
Yep. My stacks are. Wait, can you see my rotated stacks as well?
No.
Or it was okay. So we each have our private view of the pieces.
Apparently.
Actually, I think this is game. Is that true?
Yep. Yep, you've totally got it.
There we go.
Good game.
Good game.
Yep, you got too many flats up there at the top.
Yeah, those walls had a tough job.
Yep. Yeah, there's just. Yeah, I don't know. A couple of mistakes in there. I probably could have cleaned up a little bit better than I actually did.
Mm-hmm.
But
it would be cool to get like a tree view software. I'd love to be able to like walk back through the game.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely love to have that. And it's something that I kind of been thinking about wanting to work on would be essentially you take, like, over on the right side, you've got the game notation. It lays it all out. I'd love to have, like, it'd be a PTN view, or it'd be something where you could go forward and backward and maybe eventually support variations and, yeah, trees, move trees and stuff like that.
There's software called Kgoban, Kgoban. It's a Go tree viewer software.
Okay.
And you actually get 3 views all in one. You get a chat, you get a branching diagram of the game.
Nice.
And the nodes can all have comments stored, and you can like go back and forth, and like the board switches when you click on the tree. It's super pretty, and
Cool.
It doesn't seem like it should be that hard.
It's mostly hard in rendering the view of the board in a friendly way, I think. That's one of the biggest things. Mm-hmm. So that the moves are easy to follow. But I think this is a good time to wrap it up. We've actually been recording for a half an hour.
All right.
So thank you, JT, for joining me. And
no problem. It was good fun. Thanks for the game.
And yeah, just hope everybody enjoyed watching. For those of you who are going to have watched this, I will probably post the PTN, the game notation, on the TAC subreddit. If you haven't visited TAC subreddit, definitely check it out, reddit.com/r/TAC. We also have an IRC chat room on Freenode, so hop on there. His channel name is just #TAC. Also, very easy to find. I'll also put those links in the description of the video. So thanks for watching our first game here for the TAC Strategy channel, and we'll see you next game.